Hey, what's up, guys? Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Gonna be bringing you guys the swing trading watch list for the week of 4/25/16. Tonight is the season premiere for Game of Thrones, so I hope you guys are all pretty excited for that. I know I am, though I think my fiance is probably a lot more excited than I am. Anyhow, sit tight. We'll be right back, and let's talk about the SPX and the stocks I'd like to add to our watch list going into next week. Alright guys, first up, let's take a look at the S&P 500. We have finally hit our 2100 area since our last update. That was our next target area or resistance area. We have since pulled back since then and actually put in a nice little hammer doji or dragonfly doji, however you want to call it, on Friday. Still got a little bit of room down to our 20-day simple moving average, but so far we've had a great trend, our uptrending S&P 500, and I think that's going to continue here. We've got a nice cool off on the RSI. We're not near an overbought area, so we have plenty of room to that top side. We're still holding above all our major support areas, which is including 2075, 2055, our 20-day moving average and 50-day moving average. I'm looking for a move back up through 2111 this week, and then a move back up to our prior highs around 2135. So could get pretty interesting and pretty exciting coming into next week. We've had a lot of good volume days, and definitely want to see this continue higher. So three major support areas right below us here. But I still remain bullish on the S&P 500 and think we get that move towards 2135 and to new highs coming up here in the next couple of weeks. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple stocks. First up, I want to look at BGG. This is one we had on our watch list actually a while back for a breakout here over 22 or 2150. Gapped up, so didn't really give a positive entry, but still made a large run from that 2150 area all the way up to a high of almost 2450, so good range over that 2 weeks there. And whatever happened Friday, it definitely sold off, gapped down, and actually came all the way down below 21. And a buyer stepped in and scooped up all the shares, pushing it all the way back up just under 22 over the close. You can see the huge relative volume there, which is what brought it up on the scanner again. And I'm still pretty bullish on this stock. I think that we see a move back up at least towards this 23 area. So I'm going to watch it into next week to see if it gives any type of entry play on that. Next up on the list, I'm going to look at BLCM. So you can see here we're breaking the midterm downtrend line here. We got about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 month downtrend coming out of that now, consolidating up here just below that $12 area. Nice big relative volume on Friday. Our 20-day moving average is crossed and trending above our 50-day moving average. We're not overbought on the RSI. We got plenty of room to that top side. So I'm going to be looking for a breakout of that $12 area coming into next week, and I think that could be set up for a pretty decent move above that area. Next, I want to take a look at BW. Another one that we've had on our watch list in the past, but came up on the scanner again due to Friday's big relative volume day, and just wanted to touch base on it as we are about to break out of this $22 area. Now keep in mind that is the highest this chart has ever traded since it IPO'd back in July of 2015. So this chart is trading at all-time highs here at 22, and to me it looks like it's going to be going higher than that. Big volume. It's ready for a breakout through 22. We're trending up above both our moving averages. They're both trending up as well. Not overbought. Plenty of room to that top side. And next week I think we're poised for new 52-week highs on BW. Next up, let's take a look at KN. So you could see here we were trending down for 3 or 4 months, finally put that bottom in. We've come out of that downtrend line. And now starting to put some higher lows here. We're above our 20, 50-day moving averages and just broke out of this 1385, 1390 resistance area here. That was a pretty major resistance area. And I think we could be seeing a move up to 1533. Not a great entry at this moment. But still, if this stock does end up breaking out to this 1533 area, you get a pullback or some type of flag set up over the next few days, and that's where you find your entry, and the stock remains bullish, and you just take it for the next swing higher. So with that relative volume at note and the way it's been grinding higher, it's changed trend, and we just broke this $14 major resistance area, so it's definitely worth having on to watch coming into next week. Next up, let's take a look at PEB. Sort of a very similar setup to KN, except the only difference is you don't have that big breakout, which on this chart would be that 2950 area. So still giving you a great entry here with a small risk reward, contemplating a 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average. Simple place to set a stop at a low a day, anticipating that break or move higher. Good relative volume on Friday, so we'll check that into next week and see if we get that move above 2950. And again, guys, just because I say this is a good risk reward entry, I'm not telling you to buy this stock on Monday and it's going to break through 2950. I'm just giving you an example and an idea of what could happen with this stock going into next week. When you trade, it's up to you when you decide to buy or sell. And again, I'm just giving you ideas. So next up on the list, that's going to be all of the new stocks that I want to add to the watch list this week. And these next couple are going to be, I guess, honorable mentions or a couple chart setups that I like that have been on our watch list for quite some time now. So first up, I want to take a look at OCLR. Now, I've been watching this stock for a long time, and actually the very first time I ever traded OCLR was all the way down here on a channel trade and traded it from $1.50 up to $1.80 and sold it out good and really never paid much attention to it after that point, and ended up breaking out of that channel and stayed bullish for now over a year. And we just recently watched it on this $4 350 area breakout. Tried to trade it a couple times in here, just couldn't get a good enough entry where I wasn't getting stopped out. Then it finally had that big breakout, gap down, grinded its way all the way back up to new highs, and now we've since pulled back again, sitting down by our 20 and 50-day moving averages, and put a nice big strong candle on Friday. Nice little bottom getting put in here with support on that 50-day. So I'm going to watch this into next week to see if we start breaking out of this consolidation area, which would really be a flag setup, a longer term flag setup, and see if we start going back towards 540, 550 and make our way towards those new 52-week highs. Next up, I want to take a look at KANG. Now we've had this on watch for quite some time, as it's put this large cup and handle type pattern, and I was really looking for that break higher on this pullback here, but just never really got it. It just kind of kept getting the rejection here around 22, and now it's really consolidated, tight ranged, and is getting squeezed up into this 22, 22.20 area. So this is really going to kind of be do or die for this stock. So I think it's worth bringing attention back to and saying, hey, let's watch this next week over this 22.30, 22.25 area. Either we start breaking down lower and we don't hold this trend, or we break out to new highs and we could see quite a big push through that area. You guys see all the relative volume. I mean, this thing's traded a lot of volume. There's a lot of people that are buying it, accumulating shares. So I think it could be poised for that 22, 25 breakout, where it's failed numerous times over the last, I would say, 8 to 10 months. And last one I want to talk about here is ORBK. Another one here I was just recently watching on this wedge consolidation. Came out of it quite nicely. Didn't get to make a trade on that, but a nice little example of something that worked out. Still trading so much volume on this stock. It's in new 52-week highs. I found this stock about the same time I found KANG, and it was another large cup and handle type setup. Now, since last week, the stock's ripped up over 25, and it's actually forming a nice little bull flag right here. So I think that's worth a note coming into next week. The RSI was overbought. It's coming down to that unoverbought area now, and has been trading big volume. So I think bull flag here is worth a watch in the next week to see if we get a break up to that top side. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this week's watch list. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Also, check out our website, eatsleeptrade.net. Always developing new content and putting it up on there. You can check out our Twitter as well as our Facebook page so you can stay up to date on all the stocks that we are watching and trading. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.